7th day, Sunday, is a holiday. God took a holiday on this day. In 6 days he created the world, forever and ever. And then there has been no creation. After the 6th day, there has been no creation. This is a very dead concept. Tantra says God is the very creativity. Creation is not a historical event, happened somewhere in the past. It is happening every moment. Every moment God is creating. But again, the language creates the problem. When we say God is creating, it feels that God is someone who goes on creating. No, the very creativity that goes on moving and moving, every moment, that very creativity is God. So you are in creation every moment. And this is a very live concept. God created somewhere, and then there has been no dialogue between man and God. There has been really no connection, no relationship. He created and the thing was finished. Tantra says every moment you are being created. This is a very live concept. Every moment you are in deep relationship with the divine, with the source of creativity. Through this technique, you will have glimpses of the creative force, within and without. And once you can feel the creative force and the touch, the impact of it, you will become totally different. You will never be the same again. God has entered you. You have become an abode. Second technique, with your entire consciousness, in the very start of desire of knowing no. With your entire consciousness, in the very start of desire of knowing no. The basic thing about this technique is entire consciousnness. If you can bring to anything your entire consciousness, it will become a transforming force. The transformation happens whenever you are entire in it, anything. But that's difficult, because wherever we are only in parts there, never in entirety. You are here listening to me. This very listening can become a transformation if you are entirely here. This very moment, here and now. If your entirety is listening, that listening will become a meditation. You will enter a different realm of ecstacy, a separate reality. But you are not entire. That is the problem with human mind. It is always partial. A part is listening. Other parts may be somewhere else, or maybe asleep, or maybe thinking about what is being said, or going inside. That creates division. And division is dissipation of energy. So to anything, if you can bring your entire being, when you are not holding anything back, not even a minute part is there separate. You have taken a jump, totally, whole. Your whole being has come into it. Then any act becomes meditative. It is reported that one day Rinjaya was working in his garden. Rinjaya was a Zen master. Somebody approached. The man had come to ask some philosophical questions. He was a philosophical seeker. He asked, he didn't know that the man who is working in the garden is Rinjaya himself. He thought he may be a gardener, a servant. So he asked, where is Rinjaya? Rinjaya said, Rinjaya is always here. Of course the man thought this gardener seems to be mad, because he said Rinjaya is always here. So he thought it is not good to ask anything to this man again. So he started moving to ask someone else. Rinjaya said again, don't go anywhere, because you will not find him anywhere. He is always here. But he escaped from this madness. Then he inquired others and they said, the first man you met, he is Rinjaya. So he came back and told that, forgive me, I am sorry. I thought you are mad. But I have come to inquire something. I want to know what truth is. So what should I do to know it? Rinjaya said, do whatsoever you want to do, but do it entirely. The point is not what you do. That is irrelevant. The point is that you do it entirely. For example, Rinjaya said, when I am digging this hole in the earth, my entirety is there in the act of digging. There is no Rinjaya left behind. The hole has gone into the digging. Really, there is no digger left, only the digging. If the digger is left, then you are divided. For example, you are listening to me. If the listener is left, then you are not entire. If there is only listening and there is no listener left behind, you are entire here and now. And this very moment becomes a meditation. Shiva says in the sutra, with your entire consciousness, in the very start of desire, of knowing, no, a desire arises within you. Tantra doesn't say to fight it. That is futile. No one can fight a desire. And that is foolish also. Because whenever you start fighting with something within you, you are fighting with yourself. You will go schizophrenic. Your personality will be split. And all these so-called religions have helped humanity by and by to go schizophrenic. Everybody is split. Everybody is divided and fighting with himself. Because so-called religions have told you, this is bad, don't do this. And the desire comes, so what to do? Then you go on fighting with the desire. Tantra says, don't fight the desire. That doesn't mean that become a victim to it. That doesn't mean that indulge in it. Tantra gives you a very subtle technique. Just in the beginning when desire arises, be alert with your entirety. Look at it with your entirety. Become the look. Don't leave the looker behind. Bring your total consciousness to this arising desire. This is a very subtle message, but wonderful. Miraculous are its effects. Three things have to be understood. First, when a desire has already arisen, you cannot do anything. Then it will take its full course. It will complete its circle. You cannot do anything. Just in the beginning something can be done, and the seed will be burnt then and there. Once the seed has sprouted, and the tree has started growing, it is difficult. It is almost impossible to do something. Whatsoever you do will create more anguish, dissipation of energy, frustration, weakness. When the desire arises just in the beginning, just the first glimpse when you have, the first flicker that a desire is arising, bring total consciousness, entirety of your being, and look at it. Don't do anything, nothing else is needed. Just the look is so fiery with the entire being that the seed is burnt. With no struggle, with no conflict, with no antagonism. Just a deep look with the entire being, and the arising desire disappears completely. And when a desire disappears without fight, it leaves you so powerful, with such immense energy, with such tremendous awareness, you cannot imagine it. If you fight, you will be defeated. And even if you are not defeated and you defeat the desire, that too will amount to same. No energy will be left. You will feel frustrated whether you win or get defeated. In both the cases, you will be weak in the end. Because the desire was fighting with your energy. You were fighting with the same energy and the desire was taking from the same source. You both were taking from the same source. The source will be weakened, whatsoever the result. But if desire disappears just in the beginning, without any conflict, remember this is basic, without any fight, just a look, not even antagonistic look, not even with the mind to destroy it, with no enmity, just a total look. And that intensity of total look, the seed is burnt. And when the desire, arising desire disappears, just like smoke in the sky, you are left with such tremendous energy. That very energy is bliss. And that will give you a beauty of its own, a grace. The so-called saints who are fighting their desires are always ugly. And when I say ugly, I mean they are always mean, fighting. Their whole personality becomes graceless. And they are always weak. Always lacking energy. Because their all energy is taken in the inner fight. A Buddha is totally different. And the grace that has come to Buddha's personality is the grace of disappearing desires without any struggle and fight, without any inner violence. With your entire consciousness in the very start of desire are of knowing. No. In that moment simply know, look, see. Don't do anything. Nothing else is needed. All that is needed is your total being should be there, present. Your total presence is needed. This is one of the secrets of achieving the ultimate enlightenment without any violence. And remember, you cannot enter into the kingdom of God with violence. No. Those doors shall never open for you. Knock, howsoever. Knock and go on knocking. You may break your head, but those doors will not open. And for those who are deep inside, non-violence, not fighting with anything, those doors are always open, they were never closed. Jesus says, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. And I say to you, there is no need even to knock. Look, the doors are open. They have always been open. They were never closed. Just a deep look. Entire, total, whole. Third technique. O Sakti, each particular perception is limited, disappearing in omnipotence. O Sakti, each particular perception is limited, disappearing in omnipotence. Whatsoever we see is limited. Whatsoever we feel is limited. All perceptions are limited. But if you can become aware, then every limited thing is disappearing into the unlimited. Look at the sky. You will see a limited part of it. Not because the sky is limited, but because your eyes are limited. Your focus is limited. But if you can become aware that this limitation is because of the focus, because of the eye, not that the sky is limited, then you will see the boundaries melting into the unlimited. Whatsoever we see becomes limited because of our seeing. Otherwise existence is unlimited. Otherwise everything is melting into something else. Everything is losing its boundaries. Every moment. Waves are disappearing into the ocean. And there is no end to anything. There is no beginning. Everything is everything other also. Limitation is forced by us. It is because of us. Because we cannot see the infinite. We divide it. It's just, we have done in everything. You make a fence around your house and you say, this land belongs to me. And beyond the fence is somebody else's land. But deep down, your and your neighbor's land are one. And the fence is just because of you. The land is not divided. Neighbors and you are divided because of your mind. Nations are divided because of your mind. Somewhere India ends and Pakistan starts. And just a few years back, where now Pakistan is, was India. Then India used to continue up to the limits of Pakistan, the present limits. But now, Pakistan is divided. There is a barrier. But the land remains the same. I have heard one story. When India and Pakistan were divided, there was a madhouse, a mad asylum, just on the boundary of India and Pakistan. And politicians were not very much worried where that madhouse goes, to the Pakistan or to India. But the superintendent was very much worried. So he inquired where this madhouse is going to be, whether it is going to be in India or in Pakistan. So somebody from Delhi informed that it is better you ask the inmates, the madmen, and take a vote, wherever they want to go. The superintendent was the only man who was not insane. So he tried to explain. He gathered all madmen together and told them that now, it is up to you wherever you want. If you want to go to India, you can go to India. If you want to go to Pakistan, you can go to Pakistan. But those madmen said, we want to remain here. We don't want to go anywhere. He tried and tried. He said, you will remain here. Don't worry about it. You will remain here. But where do you want to go? Those madmen said, people say we are mad, but you are looking mad. You say you will remain here. Then we are going to remain here. Why worry about going anywhere? The superintendent was at a loss. How to explain the whole thing? So there was only one way. He erected a wall and divided the madhouse into equal parts. One part became India, another part became Pakistan. And it is reported that sometimes madmen from the Pakistan madhouse just come over the wall. And the madmen from India, they also jump over the wall and they talk. And they are still confused. What is happening? We are in the same place. And you have gone to Pakistan and we have gone to India and no one has gone anywhere. Those madmen are bound to be at last. They will never be able to understand because in Delhi and Karachi, bigger madmen are there. We go on dividing. Life, existence are not divided. All demarcations are man-made. They are useful if you don't go mad about them. And if you know that they are just artificial, man-made, utilitarian, but not real, not true. They are just myths. They help. But they don't go any deeper. This sutra, O Sakti, each particular perception is limited, disappearing into omnipotence. So whenever you see anything limited, always remember beyond the limit, it is disappearing. The limitation is disappearing. Always look beyond and beyond. This you can make a meditation. Just sit under the tree and just look. And whatsoever comes to your look, just go beyond. Look beyond. And don't stop anywhere. Just find out where this tree is melting. And this tree, a small tree just in your garden, has the whole existence in it. It is melting every moment. If the sun is not going to rise tomorrow, this tree will die. Because this tree's life is bound together with the life of the sun. It's very long, the distance is very long. Sun rays reach, they take time, 10 minutes time to reach the earth. And 10 minutes time is very long, because light travels at a very fast speed, tremendous. Light travels in 1 second, 186 lakh miles. In 1 second. 10 minutes it takes for the light to reach this tree from the sun. The distance is tremendous, vast. But if the sun is no more there, the tree will immediately disappear. They exist together. The tree is every moment melting into the sun, and the sun is melting into the tree. The sun is every moment entering into the tree, making it alive. The other thing is yet unknown for science, but religion says the other thing is also happening. Because in life, nothing can go without response. If the sun is giving life to the tree must be giving life back to the sun. Because in life, there is always response. And energy equals. The tree must be giving life to the sun. They are one. Then the tree has disappeared, the limitation has disappeared. Wherever you look for the beyond. And don't stop anywhere. Go on and on and on. Until you lose your mind, until you lose your all limited pattern. Suddenly you will be illumined that the whole existence is one. That oneness is the goal. And suddenly, mind is tired of pattern, limitation, boundary. And you insist to go beyond. You go on putting it beyond and beyond, and then the mind slips, and suddenly the mind has dropped. And you look at existence as a vast oneness. Everything is melting into each other. Everything changing into the other. Both each particular perception is limited, disappearing in omnipotence. You can make a meditation out of it. Sit for 1 hour and work it out. Don't create any limitation anywhere. Whatsoever the limitation, just try to find out the beyond. And move. And go and move. Soon the mind becomes tired. Because with the unlimited, mind cannot cope. Only with the limited, it can be limited. With the unlimited, it cannot be limited. It gets bored, it gets tired. It says, enough, now stop. But don't stop, you go and move it. A moment will come, mind is left behind, only consciousness is moving. In that moment, you will have the illumination of oneness, of non-duality. That is the goal. That is the highest peak of consciousness. And that is the greatest ecstasy possible to human mind. And the deepest bliss. Fourth technique. In truth, forms are inseparate. Inseparate are omnipresent being and your own form. Realize each as made of this consciousness. In truth, forms are inseparate. They appear separate. But every form is joined together with other forms. It exists. Rather, it would be right to say it coexists with other forms. Our reality is a coexistence. It is really an inter-reality, an inter-subjectivity. For example, think yourself alone on this earth, what you will be. Whole humanity has disappeared. You are alone left after the Third World War, alone in the world, alone on this big earth. Who you will be. The first thing, it is impossible to conceive yourself alone. Impossible, I say, to conceive yourself alone. You will try and you will see that someone is just different. Your wife, your children, your friends. Because you cannot exist alone, even in imagination. You exist with others. They give you existence. They contribute. You contribute to them, they contribute to you. Who you will be? Will you be a good man or a bad man? Nothing can be said, because goodness and badness exist in relation. Will you be beautiful or ugly? Nothing can be said. Will you be man or woman? Nothing can be said. Because whatsoever you are related to someone else. Will you be wise or foolish? By and by you will see every form has disappeared. With other forms, all forms within you have also disappeared. You are neither foolish nor wise, neither good nor bad, neither ugly nor beautiful, neither man nor woman. Then what you will be? If you go on eliminating all forms, soon you will realize only nothing remains. We see forms as separate, but they are not. Every form is linked with others. Forms exist in a pattern. This sutra says, in truth, forms are inseparate. Inseparate are omnipresent being and your own form. Even your form and the form of the whole existence is inseparate. You are one with it. You cannot be without it. And the other thing is also true, but difficult to conceive. The universe cannot be without you. The universe cannot be without you. Just as you cannot be without the universe. You have been existing in many, many forms, always. And you will exist always in many, many forms. But you will be there. You are an intrinsic part to this universe. You are not aligned. You are not a stranger to it. You are not an outsider. You are an insider, an inherent, intrinsic part. And the universe cannot afford to lose it. Because if it loses you, it will lose itself. Forms are not inseparate. Forms are not separate. They are inseparate. They are one. Only the appearance gives demarcations and boundaries. If this becomes a realization, if you ponder over it, penetrate into it, and if this becomes a realization to you, not a doctrine, not a thought, but a realization that yes, I'm one with the universe and the universe is one with me. This is what Jesus was saying to the Jews. But they felt offended. So Jesus said, I and my Father and even are one. Jews felt offended. What he is claiming? He is claiming that he and the God are one. This is blasphemy. He must be punished. But he was simply teaching a technique, nothing else. He was simply teaching a technique that forms are not separate. You and the whole are one. I and my Father in the heathen are one. But this was not a claim. This was just a suggestive technique. And when Jesus said that I and my Father are one, he didn't mean that you and the Father and the Divine are separate. Every I he represented when he said I. Wherever I exists, that I and the Divine is one. But Christians, Jews misunderstood him. That can be understood. But even Christians have misunderstood. They say he was the only begotten Son of God, the only begotten Son. So that no one else claims that I am also. I was reading a very funny book. The title of the book is Three Christs. In a madhouse there were three men, and all the three claimed that they are Christ. And this is the actual fact, not a story. So one psychoanalyst studied all the three. And then a thought came to his mind that it would be very funny to introduce them to each other. And what happens, how they introduce, and what is their reaction. So he brought all the three and left them in the room. So they introduced, the one said, I am the only begotten Son, Jesus Christ. The other laughed. And he thought in his mind, he must be mad. And he said, right, but how you can be? He said, I am Jesus Christ. You are also part of that whole. A fragment of that consciousness is in you also. But Jesus Christ, that only Son of God, I am. The third part, both fully. They have gone insane. He said, what are you talking? Look at me. The Son of God is here. The psychoanalyst asked them separately then, what is your reason? They said, both are mad. Everyone said the other two have gone crazy. And this is not a case which happens only to madmen. If you ask Christians, then what do you think about Krishna, who claims I am God? They will say that. There is only one penetration of the beyond, and that is Jesus Christ. Only one event in the history when God penetrated into the world, and that is Jesus Christ. Krishna is good, a great man, but not divine, not God himself. If you ask Hindus, they will laugh at Jesus. The same madness goes on. And the reality is, everyone is the only begotten Son of God. Everyone. Otherwise it's not possible. You come from the same source. Whether you are Jesus or Krishna or ABC, anybody, or nobody, but you come from the same source. And every I, every consciousness is immediately related to the divine.